Two guys, one sofa.
Afternoon, evening. We should really build these up a bit more. You do the intro. Screw it. I'm always morbid.
Oh yeah, and I'm the life and soul party. Yeah, I'm notoriously cheery.
Two guys, one sofa. Yay!
We've got a jingle for this. Fuck it.
I'm gonna play the jingle again. Fuck this. I'm just gonna bollocks to this. Right, get stoked, people.
All right, never stoked.
Two guys,
I'm never stoked.
one
Right.
sofa.
Wait for it to finish. Wait for it to finish. All right. Welcome to Two Guys, One Sofa, your new favourite podcast about movies. I'm Graeme.
And I'm Pete.
Didn't enjoy that at all.
No,
That was forced. I blame Paul Feig. Fuck him.
yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you, Paul Feig.
I blame Kate Cam
We all do.
Yeah.
We all do.
for so many things.
Yes. So yes, welcome to the new episode. Hooray for us for getting around to it. 20 seconds after finishing the last one.
Yeah. Still drinking.
Yeah. Just as a disclaimer, we should have done this before we did the Ghostbusters one, really, because we're all pissed off and angry now, and we're in a very cynical
We're in a
place.
bad state of mind.
Yeah. So apologies to the films we like that may not come across as that anymore.
We'll do our best to get this out of our system.
Yeah. So the 2018 so far little rewind session that we're doing. What we've seen pretty much across the board. I haven't seen a lot. Pete's seen a lot more than me.
Yeah, we've seen a few, but I mean, we'll talk a little bit, not in a great deal of depth, about a few things coming up as well.
Yeah.
Things that we're looking forward to.
Yeah.
Or not looking forward to.
Oh, not. Yeah. I did. Like I said, I've been hitting Netflix pretty hard, so I've been binging series rather than
The old
watching
box
films.
sets.
So that's my pitfall that I've fallen down at the beginning of this year. But I did want to go watch a lot more and never got around to it. So as a movie review podcast section, I feel I've let the side down slightly.
Yeah, you're dreaming,
one job,
son.
one job. Go watch film. That's
Yeah,
it.
You've fucked this right up.
So right off the bat, where do you want to start, Pete?
Well, you mentioned Netflix, so should we start with Netflix?
Let's start with Netflix.
The Cloverfield Paradox.
We're starting with a bad film.
So we're in a bad mood anyway. Let's carry it over.
All right, let's get this out of the way. Yeah, I watched Cloverfield. The Cloverfield Paradox, sorry.
Yeah, this is called the Cloverfield Paradox. I think it was originally called the God Particle.
Yes, it is the third film, supposedly, in the
Very loosely.
Cloverfield, Cloverfield franchise, which were two standalone stories, or so we thought beforehand, which we both liked the idea of it being this kind of cinematic X-Files, not X-Files, Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Thing, everything's separate. It's its own quirky story in each one, but it's under the banner of Cloverfield for some apparent
it's
reason.
sort of not episodic. It's
Yeah, like you say, I mean, nothing ties into each other, and that's what I liked about it going forward. I thought, oh, there's going to be another third horror / thriller / sci-fi to enjoy, and there's going to be one little reference to the word Cloverfield in it.
Well, thriller is an interesting word to use there, because this might be one of the most boring films I've ever seen.
Yeah. Michael Jackson's animated corpse would be more fun
Yeah.
than this, speaking of thriller, because Michael Jackson did...
You're doing the thriller dance,
I am doing the
and there's
thriller
no
dance.
video. Yeah.
I'm still going to do it, I don't care.
It's more like a sort of Velociraptor.
It is. It's like one of those, the people that you see dress up in those giant dinosaur outfits and do the T-Rex arms. That's my thriller dance. I would never make it as a dancer.
So the Cloverfield Paradox then. So I think you watched it pretty much straight away, really, when it came out.
I think it was
maybe
the day
next
after, or the one, because it was dropped dead.
Yeah, well, nobody knew this was coming, or certainly not in the way that it was released.
No.
Straight to Netflix. And I think they dropped the trailer during the Super Bowl halftime.
Yeah, I think it was one of the big Super Bowl halftime. And the trailer, it not only dropped the trailer, at the very end of it, it said, after this game's finished, you can watch it.
Yeah.
It's just like, holy shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, certainly a bold marketing move. Don't have a massive amount of problem with that.
This is what I've always liked about the Cloverfield, regardless of how much I've enjoyed the films or haven't enjoyed the films or nitpicked them or, just fully engross myself in it. The one thing that's always been a consistent is their marketing campaign.
Yeah,
and
we
how they
talked
keep
about
it.
the first Cloverfield before on here, and the marketing campaign for that was one of the best I can think of. We were so excited for that film.
It was glorious. And that was the niche. We didn't know what the fuck this was.
Exactly.
The second one, very similar, but it had a better twist on it.
Well, it was more of a conventional trailer.
Yeah. But again, it was this story that...
It was ambiguous and mysterious.
It was,
but...
and then just at the end, they put the Cloverfield name on it, and all of a sudden you've gone, oh shit, this has something to do with... And that drew you in.
Yes.
This one, because they know that Cloverfield now might not hook you as much. The word, just the word alone, it's not that big of a hook, maybe. So their new marketing campaign is just saying, we made a film, watch it now, go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Surprise, motherfuckers. And that was novel in itself. I like that. I was just like, you've reinvented marketing again a little bit. You've given it your own little twist once again.
Yeah, so in that
Bad
sense,
robot. Well done.
Well done.
Yeah.
But that is the last well done you'll be getting for this utter miserable nightmare.
Oh, it's so bad. I can't even... who's the Irish guy? Chris O'Dowd?
Chris O'Dowd, yeah.
I like...
crowd over
yeah,
here.
I like Chris O'Dowd. The few things he's
good
been in.
things, yeah.
Again, he's one of those middle of the road... If you write him in a... He's always... it's something about... I don't know if it's... Again, this is going to sound racist, but I don't know if it's just his Irish accent, because he's always that bumbly character.
Yeah.
And it just takes me back to Father Ted for some reason, even though he wasn't in it. Just
he's got that
shenanigans.
vibe.
Yeah. So, and he's in it, and I thought, oh, well, at least there's Chris O'Dowd. Even Chris O'Dowd in this was dour.
Yeah, it just...
He was Chris O'Dower, is what he was.
Oh... No.
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to thriller dance again.
Oh God, I've not drank nearly enough for this shit.
I'm giving myself a mark for that. That's a yellow card right there. Another one like that, and I'm walking.
Christ.
So yes, go for it. So Cloverfield, or the Cloverfield paradox.
So yeah, very boring, very confusing. I only watched it a few days ago. Well, maybe a week. I couldn't really tell you what the story is.
No.
I think the idea is that...
Oh, spoilers. Spoilers. Yeah, you know it's going to happen, but still...
Yeah, if you're interested in spoilers for the Cloverfield paradox, get to fuck, you wee gobshite.
Get to fuck, you gobshite.
I think when I drink, I go more Scottish.
Hey, laddie.
Oh, fucking cut it.
Jesus Christ.
So from what I remember, I think the energy on Earth is running out, and
World War III is about to kick off.
Yeah, and I think they're going to use what's basically the Hadron Collider particle accelerator. I think they call it the Shepherd.
The Shepherd,
this
that's
film.
right, yes. But it's up in space. It's not...
Somehow it's going to create an infinite energy source.
Yeah. Before Russia goes and poisons any more spies and kicks off World War III.
Salisbury. You listening, Vladimir?
Fuck you, Putin.
Calling you out.
You gobshite. Anyway.
Yeah. I'll fuck you up too.
He deserves the gobshite treatment, so have that. But yeah, so it's the Hadron Collider in space. It's going to... a renewable, everlasting energy source.
Yeah, and they've had a few failed experiments, and it's a very...
It goes on for a while that they're hopeful, but...
a very culturally diverse space station is. We've got a Russian, we've got a Chinese scientist, we've got the Irishman,
an Italian, German.
There is a German,
the German guy, Nick Stahl, is it the actor?
I think so. Yeah,
he was in. He's been in a few things. He's quite a good actor, Nick Stahl.
Americans. African American.
There's the Brit. The lead actress is a Brit.
Yeah, there's a Brit. So they're at pains to point that out. And after a few failed experiments, they finally have what they think is a successful test of this thing. But they soon realise the Earth has gone. The Earth has disappeared, not there anymore. And strange things start to happen aboard the ship. One of them explodes, and worms come out of his stomach.
Oh yeah, they find somebody in a wall that wasn't part of the crew at all.
Blonde lady
from an alternate universe, which is how this whole ties in with the previous. But we'll get to that.
Chris O'Dowd has an arm pulled off, but there's no blood or pain. It just happens. It's pulled into a wall,
and it then
walks around, writes a message.
I suppose walk around, isn't the right?
Crawls
around by itself. It can still write stuff for some reason.
Communicates.
the Chinese scientist got frozen in an airlock that got flooded.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Drowned.
So yeah, basically everyone suffers a fate one by one in a very sci-fi horror
Very
cliche
generic.
fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come to think of it, when was the last sci-fi film you watched that had that whole horror trope where they get picked off one by one? The two got picked off at once. I can't remember one. Everyone always goes one by one.
Does it?
No. Just take two out at once. That would be all right.
Yeah.
That would be interesting, surely.
Yeah.
But no, it's just paint by numbers for a lot. For those kind of tropes. The stuff that's very confusing is never explained, like the arm, for instance. You're waiting for just a little tidbit, maybe, just to be thrown out there.
Oh yeah,
so
it never
explains
explains why this happens. It just happens.
It just happens.
I think you're just meant to accept it because this is some alternate universe where it turns out that their ship has crashed to Earth.
Yeah, or something.
Oh,
yeah.
and we eventually get the story that this lead Brit, her kids had died, I believe,
in
in
battery
her
fire.
reality. Yeah, but in this alternate world,
she's still alive
they're
because she
still
never
alive.
went up to the space station.
Yeah, so she ponders staying here and going back down to this planet to be with her kids.
And that's all of about a minute and a half.
Yeah, that's it. The one vaguely interesting thing is just tossed off.
Yeah.
This moral quandary.
So yeah, it's like you say, nothing's really explained, and then at the end you're meant to. It's meant to be this whole kind of the reason why the two previous Cloverfield films happened that are both in their separate universes and had aliens or monsters or monster aliens or whatever. Yeah, because they went unexplained. It was very ambiguous in that regard. Happened because of this this reality's science experiment that went wrong and then opened up all these doors and all these...
Yeah, because I think, to be fair, early on they do show when they're preparing to go up for this experiment as some sort of mad conspiracy theorist on the TV saying this could rip open
time and space and
all
it would
sorts
make
of
no
monsters
sense. You
could
could go
come
into
through.
the past or the future and it just spans everything, which is a generic blanket statement to say, well, that explains why that's happened in another film.
Lazy.
There's also a side plot as well involving the British girl's husband.
He's back on Earth,
that gets attacked by one of some creatures from an alternate universe, but you never see it.
Kind of. Well, he witnesses. I think he finds a...
But he's just in this film, and there's no reason for him to be in this film.
He's going to the hospital to volunteer and help out, and the hospital's been destroyed by the silhouette of a monster that you see. And I think he finds a kid whose parents have been killed.
And looks after the kid.
Yeah, and that's it. That's it.
And
then at the end, when the British woman and one of the other scientists are finally able to return to Earth, he berates them for allowing them to come back because they're coming back.
Obviously, hell is all
war
broken.
zone, and of course, when they come back into the atmosphere,
it isn't the Russians.
Yeah, we see the giant monster come up.
It's a bigger version of the original Cloverfield monster.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be up there at the end of the year when we're talking about our worst films, but
it's the most disappointing in a long time for me.
It's not even in that sort of I really want to rant or hate on it sense. It's just it invokes no kind of emotion. It's not funny bad that we can laugh about and make a 20-minute isn't it hilarious, stupid. It's not a pan where I can just rip it apart with rage. It's just nothing. It's just complete apathy.
Weapon of choice, rage. Peter's gone full rage.
Peter's gone Hadouken on this motherfucker.
Well, yeah, it's just, and I mean, I think the thing that really sums it up is this feels like a film, and I'm pretty sure it was this, that wasn't a Cloverfield film.
Yeah.
But it was never getting picked up by any studio. It got picked up by Bad Robot. They altered one or two things.
They just thought, how can we give this some sort of credibility?
Slapped the brand logo of Cloverfield on it. And
shove it out there.
Yeah, and this is the problem, because the other two Cloverfield, I'm guessing those two Cloverfield films were deliberately crafted as Cloverfield films.
I assume so.
This one seems to be crafted on its own, for its own merits.
As, generic sci-fi.
Generic sci-fi film that never really, like you say, the God Particle or whatever, and didn't get picked up because of how fucking bland it was. And then JJ just went, well, I can easily make money because Netflix will buy it off me because I'll put Cloverfield on it. And we'll just alter one or two things. We'll do a reshoot or two just to explain how it creates all this alternate reality stuff, and that'll be good enough.
And it's damaging for the Cloverfield franchise because I think fingers burnt now. I've got
Yeah.
very little interest in seeing the next one. I'm sure it will.
There is a fourth one coming out
Oh, I'm sure that is.
later this year.
Oh, Christ.
Set in World War Two, which builds into the whole time and space. It could happen anywhere kind of thing. So fuck knows what it's going to be. It's
Well,
going
that
to be
sounds horrendous.
going to be like Castle at
I
Wolfenstein
think
or
it
something,
also
isn't it?
kind of damages Netflix because it's
Yeah.
becoming a negative connotation now, whereas a film going straight to Netflix used to be cool and trendy and exciting.
Yeah.
It's now dumped to Netflix, is the word.
Yeah, I
Phrase.
touched on that in my opening line of the first bit of
Yeah.
editorial. Put it,
Yeah.
you know, Netflix original used to be this.
Yeah, you were talking about Mute, weren't you? I think?
Yeah. It used to be this thing, this brand. Again, it was a brand almost of itself. A Netflix original meant, hey, they've got a good track record here because they put their time into it. They put their money. They've invested wisely, should we say? Not anymore. They just lap up everything because they know that sooner or later they're probably going to. The streaming services and all these streaming platforms are going to just destroy satellite TV before too long.
Yeah, well, it certainly destroys cinema. I mean, I think we're going off on a little bit of a tangent here. I think we will get to the point where films like this do just go straight to Netflix. And
Anything with any intellectual property that isn't a Michael Bay film.
anything that's not Michael Bay or not
Fast and
some
Furious.
Disney related in some way.
Yeah.
The cinemas will be the exclusive, home of your Marvels, your Pixars, maybe your DCs if they can keep it going, which I very much doubt.
No, that's dead. They're dead.
Well,
DC's dead.
yeah, yeah.
They're pinning all their hopes on Aquabro for their next film. That says it all, doesn't it?
We'll be getting back to that later.
I was saying they haven't put that on hold and going, let's just double down on Wonder Woman before we.
Yeah. I mean, we'll stay on Netflix for our next film, and
Right.
we touched upon it in our Ghostbusters review, which hopefully you've all listened to by now. If not, fucking do it, you useless piece of shit.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Annihilation. Now, this was a film that did get a cinematic release in the US and bombed, so it was put straight onto Netflix over here in Europe and beyond. And I think that's a shame because I'd like to have seen this film.
Do you know why it bombed?
Because Americans be dumb.
They voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or looser gun laws.
Yeah, no gun regulation.
Oh, just to get political.
Second Amendment.
Yeah. That America, you're burning bridges left, right, and centre, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gone straight to Netflix worldwide, or
Yep.
internationally, as they say. And it's a good film. It's something that should be. Again, it's one of these films that should have been lauded. It should have been something that was pushed. But the problem is the average cinema goer now, and it makes me sound an elitist, but isn't an intellectual type anymore.
They like simple, they like dumb.
Yeah, they like Marvel films. They
want everything spelled out.
Yeah. And
they don't want to film, they want to be able to...
This film was the anti-blockbuster.
Yeah,
It turned out to be that
look
way.
down at their phone and, do a little Facebook update from the cinema.
Yeah.
Or bury their face in their popcorn without thinking, oh shit, I've missed something.
Yeah, exactly. And this is why Annihilation bombed in cinemas, because, like you say, it's a well-crafted film. It's a
I love this
well-written
film.
film.
I really like this film.
I loved it by the end. I do admit, though, you have to be in the right frame of mind to watch it, I think.
Yeah, it's not a film, like say, because...
I took 2 goes at it on Netflix,
Yeah,
and that's the nice thing with Netflix. If you're not really feeling something, you can just pause it.
Yeah, you can pause it and come back to it, which you can't obviously do in this cinema.
No.
Obviously more distractions at home, and that's a danger.
Yeah.
It's very easy to be tempted to think, oh, I'll just check my phone, or just... I'll just check the football score, or whatever the case may be. But I found that this, this engrossed me. I didn't find myself doing that.
All of a sudden it's 2 hours later and...
Yeah. It's a film that rewards you for paying attention.
Yeah, it really does. I think like I say, the problem with me, you have to be in the right frame of mind to watch it. I mean, the first 15 minutes for me was slow going.
Yeah, it's not an easy watch.
Yeah,
I'll certainly say that.
But if you get past that 15-20 minute barrier, then I was into it then. But like I said, I needed a second go because I knew it was good, but I was bored because I wasn't in that frame of mind. I put something on that I just wanted to watch. But the problem was, because it was so slow going and like I say, it's a hard watch in that first 20 minutes or so, I couldn't break through to it. So then I just put on Always Sunny, and because I wasn't in that frame of mind, went back to it the following day sat down, with that, I'm going to watch this. It was good, so I'm going to give it that chance. It wasn't a shit 20 minutes by any stretch of the imagination. It was just that my mindset wasn't right for it, and I think that again, that's what a lot of people.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, but once it was a fantastic film. I really enjoyed it.
Old
school 70s vibey kind of sci-fi.
Exactly. It was sci-fi, proper sci-fi, in the vein of Star Trek: The Motion Picture, in the vein of 2001: Space Odyssey. It's slow. It's intelligent.
Yeah.
It's intellectual. It doesn't apologise for being intellectual either.
Nope.
It's not a film that sort of like gives you this intelligent thing, but then has to undercut it with a stupid joke or a crazy action scene.
Yeah.
No, it is unapologetically slow and dealing out its information and developing its characters, but it pays it all off. You pay attention, you invest in the characters, you invest in the story, and you're rewarded at the end.
I like the score of it as well. Like you say, that reminded me of the old sci-fi, because like I say, it was tension building music again. And like you say, that I love a good score for a film. Like I say, and it works. And the best scores are almost intertwined with the movie. They're not music made for the film. The film is almost, it counters.
Well,
the
yeah,
music
you make
it
a
builds
good point about
with
it being slow burning at the start and how that was a bit boring. There's a 15-minute point near the end where there's no dialogue.
No,
it's just Natalie Portman and this clone Natalie Portman.
Yeah,
and it's all visual, but it's creepy. The score in the background is engaging.
Thing. It was creepy. Like it wasn't like a scare, but I mean, it was an.
It wasn't blatant, and there was some seriously unnerving and creepy stuff. Again, we're talking spoilers. Well, let's get out. There's going to be spoilers for all of these films. Let's just get that out of the way. You've got the plants that are growing as people, or people turning into plants. Yeah. And that bear monster that lures you with the screams of your dead colleague. That is one of the creepiest films I have seen in a film in a long time. That stayed with me.
Was it like hell?
Yeah, because we see it earlier on kill one of the scientists.
Drag them off, didn't
drag them off.
Yeah.
And to lure in...
It's all about gene splicing and DNA, and because they shot a crocodile earlier, didn't they?
And it was turns out to have
this has shark teeth or
Yeah.
something.
And we see plants that have sort of all growing out of the same.
Yeah, so DNA is splicing together basically in this phenomenon that they
in this
go
bubble.
into.
There's been a meteor crash. Is that the premise behind it? I believe
it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and within this, what is it? Is it called the sphere or the bubble or something like that? Something like that.
Obviously, shit gets sideways, including So as soon as this bear ate this human. Yeah, it's DNA imprinted on the bear that then had like a slightly human skull almost thing going on.
To lure in its next victims, it mimics the dying voice of this woman, and it is so creepy.
It's so well done.
It's just leaning over the shoulder of this woman right into her face, with this woman screaming. Yeah, it is so cool.
It's again, let's say, and they're tied to the chair at that point, aren't they? So they're not. They can't get away. That's the thing.
It's the sort of thing we love and we talk about. We love it when a film is claustrophobic. It's it's self-contained. Yeah, it's not some big, massive open world thing. It's creepy and it's everything is in very close quarters.
Everything matters as well. Every decision matters when it's in a kind of claustrophobic atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly. And by that point, they develop the characters well enough. They've got depth. We know a little bit about everyone. Yeah, that you actually care about these people.
Yeah, like I say, there's some good backstory. Building in there, and it's not something that they do it in a generic sense of. Well, this one's the butch handy mechanic one. This one isn't.
We've got the sensible one. We've got blah blah.
They're all just four capable. 5? How many women? 4 or 5?
I wanted to say 5.
Yeah, I want to say 5. It's just because we watch Ghostbusters. All I've got is 4 women in my head.
Yeah, because there was the 4 of them, and then there's the woman that's sort of leading the.
That's right. Yeah. So you've got all. They're all fleshed out, but they're not generic. Like they're all capable. Like Natalie Portman's character before she went into botany or whatever it was. Well, she's a botanist now or something, like, because she studied at university to begin with. That's where they.
Yeah, we see her sort of early on.
Biologist, sorry, not botanist. Biologist. I think another one is a botanist, though.
Yeah, there is a botanist.
Yeah.
There's
they all have their little. Yeah, they all have their little traits, but they're all ex-army as well, or something.
She's ex-military, but I mean, they're all intelligent. They're all excellent in their fields, but they're all vulnerable. We find out a little bit about their stories and why they're here. They're not just here because they've been thrown into the situation. They've all. almost in a position where perhaps they feel they've got nothing to lose.
Yeah,
and this
I
is
think
their
there's a throwaway line brilliantly done where it's just like, why, if you think this is a suicide, like there's an interview situation, and the leader of the team's interviewing Natalie Portman, and Natalie Portman like kind of alludes to it. Oh, I want to join this suicide mission. I think she even says, if I want to join this, a suicide mission kind of thing. If it is that, she says, why would you want to join a suicide mission? And then it just cuts away, and then you learn more as it goes on.
Yeah, because we should mention that it's sort of intertwined between seeing the action, and we already know by the end that the Natalie Portman character obviously makes it out of this because we see her being interviewed. Yeah. Sort of in a sort of quarantine situation. Yeah. And she's sort of flashing back, and they are asking questions. I can't remember. I don't know. Yeah. All of this.
They're getting more frustrated with her not being able to give a straight answer. Like I said, the alien at the end. Like I say, that was unnerving. That was creepy, just because it was featureless. Yeah, just exactly. Simplistic, visual.
It wasn't stupid.
Yeah, it wasn't like this fucking monster. It wasn't.
It felt like a genuine threat.
Yeah, and it didn't even really do a lot. That was the thing. It just felt like a genuine threat because it didn't speak. It was silent. Even the score dropped out at that point. Yeah, and it was just.
You didn't have Natalie Portman making stupid jokes
or going, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god,"
screaming.
It was perfectly acted. Like, kudos to Natalie Portman for pulling that one out of the bag.
We don't often say that. She's very much. I see her as a bit of a female Hugh Jackman. Like, she has these occasional moments of brilliance, but when she's bad, she's really bad.
Yeah.
But this was a big hit for Natalie Portman, I think.
So yes, Annihilation. Recommend. Go on Netflix now and watch it.
Big thumbs up.
So yeah.
What else? Speaking of Hugh Jackman, Greatest Showman.
No, I haven't seen.
I mean, this has become a phenomenon.
Yes, all I've seen is middle-aged women appreciating this, and I've just kind of gone, nope.
Interesting film, and I'm sort of on the fence with this. It's the story of P.T. Barnum, the famous showman, magician / circus / politician / all sorts of different things, played by Hugh Jackman. And
Jackman's Wolverine.
How dare you? I really can't make my mind up on it. He's very good, I will say that. He's very good. It also features Zac Efron, who I think this is the first film I've ever seen Zac Efron in. He's someone I'm aware of, but I've just never come across him.
I've seen a few with him now. He does like Bad Neighbours.
Yeah, all that terrible comedy shit that I really don't like.
Yeah, I
have you seen Baywatch?
I have seen Baywatch.
Thumbs down.
It's not great.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dwayne.
Tis what it is.
It is what it is.
It's exactly what you expect Baywatch to be. So.
Some people stand in the darkness.
Oh God, I wish they had stayed in that fucking darkness. I'll be honest. Wish they had just stepped into the ocean and kept on fucking going. I'll be honest.
Oh, Dwayne. But yeah, Greatest Showman. Very, very generic story of a guy who is struggling, looking to find his calling in life. Starts off a sort of museum of curiosities.
So it's not The Prestige. But with musical.
There's similarities. There's certainly similarities, and sort of seeing Hugh Jackman in that is a little bit jarring. But he starts off at this museum of curiosities. Nobody comes to see it. His daughter sort of say, "Well, there's nothing living in here. It's all just boring artifacts." So he sort of turns it into a bit of a freak show. And he brings in all these people. There's a bearded woman. There's acrobats. There's a midget. All of these different things.
Little person, Peter. Little person. We're in 2018 now. We can't say dwarf, Oompa Loompa, midget, or munchkin anymore.
2018, and what are they going to do about it?
Well, punch you in the balls probably because they can't reach your chin.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
But I mean, if any midgets are listening, then bring it on. I don't give no fucks.
Jump off your booster seat and come find us.
Yeah, waddle your way over here.
Oh dear God. No.
We'll see how you shape up. See how you size up, you creepy little fucks.
Perhaps if two of you got on each other's shoulders, then we could have fisticuffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, two little people make up one Peter or one Graeme.
Yeah. But not in spirit, because you're not a real person.
No.
What film am I even talking about here?
Oh, I don't know anymore.
Greatest Showman. Fuck yeah. Greatest Showman. Stop drinking.
The problem was, I don't know why I fished and kept going with that, knowing that you would try and find something lower. Yeah. I just wanted to know how low you would go there.
I was trying to think of a Katie McCann joke to make, but that's usually my go-to in these situations.
9/11.
Yeah, I'll come back to Katie McCann later at some point.
Oh, God.
I'm sure of it. But yeah, so we see him struggling. His circus takes off, and he wants more and more, wants more success. So he's annoyed because even though it's really successful and loads of people are coming, it's not critically loved. You know, the famous critics come and they don't like it, and he wants both. He wants the success, but he also wants the critical adulation. So he
wants his cake and eating it.
Exactly, Melissa. Fuck.
Fat fuck.
So he books some opera singer to come over from Europe, and in doing so he gets the critical adulation, but he becomes embarrassed by the freaks, and starts to shun them and turn his back on these freaks and whatnot. So he's got that. In the meantime, Zac Efron is, I think, a sort of credible sort of poet / writer,
right.
Who he convinces to come on board to help out with the circus, and he starts to fall for one of the circus performers, but he's torn because he's in high society and his parents might be ashamed of him going for this circus writer. So you've basically got the same story going on twice with two different characters where they want these things but they're ashamed, blah blah blah.
Okay.
So he goes off on. So Hugh Jackman goes off on tour with this woman on a nationwide tour, leaving Zac Efron's character in charge of the circus. And inexplicably, this opera singer starts to fall in love with Hugh Jackman's character, even though she's met his wife and his kids. He rejects her advances, and she walks out on him, leaving him ruined. So he tries to go grovelling back to the circus, and the people, they accept him, but somehow the circus burns down. I think it's burnt down by an angry mob who shun these freaks.
Do not like the bearded lady.
Yeah, and all that sort of shit. Eventually they all come together, live happily ever after. And they just seem to cram so much shit into this film. I know I moan a lot about films being too long, but if you're going to try and cram this many story elements in and this much stuff...
Give it another 15. Give it another 30.
This is about an hour and 20 minutes, and nothing gets a chance to breathe. Like I say, we get this bit where the opera singer falls in love with him. That's given about maybe 2 minutes to be established. We get a brief montage where I think she falls asleep on him in a train, and that's as much as we see of their relationship. And all that sort of stuff. But on the positive side, the performances are good. The songs are great. The songs are really, really good.
Interesting.
So, it's not entirely about its merits, and it's done very, very well. A lot of people are very upset that it didn't get more of a shout at the Oscars.
Really?
It didn't get I think it got a nomination, and possibly even won Best Original Song for one of the songs in there, but it wasn't talked about for Best Picture, Best Performance, anything like that. Okay, I can see why so many people like it, but for me, a one and done.
Yeah.
For that. Coco, I don't believe you've seen that.
I haven't. Like I say, it's been a barren few months movie-wise for me. Coco was one that I desperately, really wanted to see.
Yeah.
And never got around to it. I don't know if it's still in cinema now, but
I think it might be.
Just can't afford this stuff anymore, Pete. It's
I would say good, not great. It's I think visually probably one of the best Pixar films. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
Looks really, really good. But it just sort of feels like they're running out of ideas a little bit, because there were several points, and Avril, I went to see this with Avril, she even pointed out before I did, this feels a lot like Up, and
similar kind of structure kind of thing.
Yeah,
different framework, but
presented in a different way, in a different framework,
but generally the same.
The comparisons are there. So there's a lot of that, and for a song that's based around music and a kid and his love of music, not very many memorable songs. I think there are a couple of big ones in there, but I couldn't tell you now either of the two main songs from this film, which is a shame.
'Tis no Moana.
I've not seen that yet. I've not seen Moana yet.
Good songs.
Okay. Speaking of Dwayne,
he redeems himself for Baywatch by playing Maui, but that's months, if not years old now, Moana. But
I don't think I talked about that on the podcast. Yeah.
Finally got around to it. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, so Coco, visually good, generic. Definitely worth watching. I wouldn't recommend it. So I would recommend it, but
just don't expect.
It's not in the annals of the great Pixar films. It's not up there with an Inside Out or an Up or something of that nature.
Luckily, Pixar, for every dud or two kind of just, films that they do, they normally reply with a third one that just keeps turning
We'll
up.
talk a little bit more later when we talk about some of the films to come up. I think there's a few sequels on the way this year, and that's a pitfall that they're falling into.
Yeah.
Pixar. So before we finish on the sort of the big blockbuster films, just maybe brush over some of the award season stuff. I don't think you've seen many of these, if any.
I would say chances are no, but...
So what have we got? The best picture winner, Shape of Water.
I've not seen... No, that's the
Guillermo del Toro. Yeah, I would say better than last year's best picture winner. I think it was Moonlight the year before. Which did nothing for me. Shape of Water, I can at least see why it won it.
It just comes across as very much like a modern telling Beauty and the Beast from the trailers and.
It kind of is, yeah. I can see why you'd make that comparison. I mean,
without the gold dress or the music.
Sally Hawkins is the main character. She plays Eliza. She's very, very good. She's mute. She plays a mute character for most of the film.
Well, that seems to be a
Other
trend.
than one sort of dream sequence where she does a bit of a musical number, which is very, very jarring.
That's Guillermo all over, though, isn't it?
I mean, it feels very much like one of his films. If you see like a Pan's Labyrinth, or a lot of those elements, and visually it's great. There's some really cool visuals, and it's not a bad story by any stretch of imagination. But just a little bit generic. The score's very good. I know you like, as you mentioned before, you like his score. The score's very good. Michael Shannon sort of plays the main protagonist. Michael Shannon, you might know him best as General Zod. From
him.
Man of Steel.
Yeah.
It's Michael Shannon doing very Michael Shannon things, because I know him best from Boardwalk Empire, where he plays a sort of shady detective who's sort of a God-fearing man who's somewhat corrupted, and
all of those tick his box.
And that's pretty much exactly the same character he plays in this.
Okay.
It's got Octavia Spencer, who I bigged up last year from Hidden Figures. Or Hidden Fingers, as we ended up calling it.
Yes.
She's in this, and she's very, very good. I mean, underused a little bit, but she's always great in anything she is. She's an actress that I've got a lot of time for. I can see why it won. Wouldn't have been my pick, but I can understand why this one won, unlike Moonlight the year before, which was tedious, pretentious shit. Darkest Hour. Finally, the best Oscar win for Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill, and I can see why. He is incredible in this.
I would say I didn't until it said Gary Oldman in the trailer. Wouldn't have had a clue.
Yeah, I did not know who it was him, and I would not have had a clue.
So well done to the makeup department for that. I hope they got an Oscar.
Cinematography awesome in this film. Very, very visually good. Particularly the scenes in the cabinet. The scene where he does his famous fight them on the beaches speech, and he walks out and it's all dimly lit, and it's sort of their faces are in light and he's in shadow. It's fantastic, and he's very good. What I would say, I suppose, I'm not a great World War history guy. I know enough.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel I was learning anything new from this.
Yeah.
It was very familiar, and played it pretty safe. And the stuff that's weakest, kind of similar to Beauty and the Beast, is the stuff they add in themselves, the embellishments.
Yeah.
There's a scene where he's on the way to the cabinet to make this famous speech, and he jumps out of his taxi to go on the tube to speak to the common people and get their feelings on the war and whatnot.
Before he gives his impassioned
stands out like a sore thumb.
It's just like
so cheesy, so stupid. That stuff doesn't work, but he's very good. Features Lily James, who people might know best as Cinderella in the live-action Disney remake.
I haven't seen that.
She's fine. She's sort of a very twee, generic, underwritten character.
Yeah.
There are some good background performances, and Kristen Scott Thomas is very good as his wife. Good film. Can see why it was up for Best Picture. Can also see why it didn't win.
Yeah.
The two that I would have given the award to, you sort of touched upon it before, I think. Free Billboards, outside Ebbing, Missouri. Our Best Actress, Frances McDormand. I think 22 years after she first won it for Fargo.
Oh, really?
22 years down the line, she would won it again.
I really wanted to see this.
She is so good in this film.
Really wanted.
It's fantastic. It's powerful. It's emotional. I choked up a couple of times during this film.
Was it one of these films as well that it was released just at the right time because it's all very grassroots activist, isn't it? I think the plot of it, and also, like you say, you've got all this a bit more momentum when it comes to activism.
Oh yeah, I think it definitely benefited from that. I mean, for people who aren't familiar, Frances McDormand plays a mother who's daughter has been raped and murdered in a small town, Ebbing, Missouri. She is frustrated by what she believes to be police inaction, people not caring, so she rents out 3 billboards, as the name suggests, outside the town, just on a remote stretch of road, and I think they're reading in order, left to die after being raped, still no arrests. Why? Officer Willoughby. Officer Willoughby, played by Woody Harrelson, who is absolutely awesome in this film.
He normally does very well.
He is unbelievable, and Sam Rockwell, who won the best
I've heard
supporting
Sam
actor.
Rockwell. Isn't he a redneck racist?
He is a redneck racist police officer who sort of contrasts the Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Sort of a more
Down
conventional character. Yeah. But I mean, I don't want to spoil too much about this film.
No, because I really want to watch it.
I cannot recommend this highly enough, but it is absolutely incredible. So good. The humour is very dark, but I did laugh out loud several times.
Yeah, I say so.
Absolutely fantastic, and I cannot recommend this enough. And the other film I would say that was perhaps a bit more of a surprise to me was I, Tonya. Sorry, Margot Robbie.
Ah, yes, the ice skating one.
Yeah, Tonya Harding.
See, that was another one that I was into. Like that one, I earmarked for when that's on Sky. I'll wait for it to come on.
I recommend this really highly, and when I saw 3 billboards, I thought a shoo-in, Frances McDormand, is going to be my best performance of the year, but Margot Robbie is up there. And this is a mix of sort of fake mockumentary and then seeing things happen in real time, but almost in a clever way, because you're getting contrasting stories. Her story is different to her ex-husband's story, which is different to the mother's story. And there's certain points where you're seeing action happen, and then Margot Robbie playing Tonya Harding will just turn to the camera and go, no, this is bullshit, this didn't happen. That sort of thing. So it's a great
break the fourth wall kind of thing. Yeah,
it's absolutely fantastic. It's interesting, it's funny.
That's a novel way of shooting that.
Yeah, I mean, Alison Janey, who she's been in all sorts of things. I mean, my favourite role is the mother from Juno.
Juno, yes.
She also plays the mother of Tonya Harding in this, and she is hilarious. She is so funny.
A little June bug.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say enough good things about this. There's Paul Walker Hauser plays sort of the bodyguard character, who's sort of this bumbling idiot who believes he's a sort of former SAS genius. He's fantastic
this
throughout.
Great, actually.
It features Sebastian Stan, who plays Bucky, the Winter Soldier, in the Avengers films. I don't really recognise him in this. It's a completely, I wouldn't have known.
Departure, kind of.
He looks like a weird cross between Henry Cavill and someone who I can't put my name on. I can't even think. Matt Damon. He looks like Matt Damon and Henry Cavill in this.
Matt Damon.
But yeah, he's brilliant. He plays the sort of abusive ex-husband who, eventually sets Tonya Harding up for a fall. But yeah, it's really, really funny, really, really good.
I may see if that's still out in cinema then.
I think it just about is. I think it's still just about going.
Because it was released just after 3 Billboards, wasn't it? So 3 Billboards is probably
out. It's a little bit, I don't know how to describe it, poverty porn, maybe. And a few of the jokes are just derived from the fact that she is white trash. And it sort of feels a little bit exploitative in that sense.
But still, white trash is funny.
Yeah, if you like that kind of thing.
I like shitting on people that are below me because I'm an arrogant elitist.
Jobs.
Exactly. To be fair, white trash voted Trump in. At the end of the day, white trash voted for Brexit. So, again, from another political point of view, they're fair game. Fuck them.
Yeah. But I can't recommend this highly enough. And it's going to be tough. I mean, these are the 2 front runners, I would say, for my best film this year. Which brings on to a couple of blockbusters. One that I've seen that you haven't, and one that you've seen that I haven't. Start with yours.
My first cinema experience this year. Like I say, it's been a bit of a barren spell for the trips to the cinema, but I finally opening day, no less. It just happened to fall on Tomb Raider. I guess it is a reboot, but you can't really say the original series was. Yeah, it's just a new Tomb Raider film.
It's not remembered, let's be honest.
No, because like you say, I use the term reboot for series that have done well, and then they're rebooting them. Those Tomb Raider films were absolute hot trash, so it's just a new Tomb Raider film set apart. It was one of those again that. Again, one and done. It was okay. Wasn't anything overly bad about it, but there was just nothing overly good about it. I mean, the lead actress, I don't know how to say her name, Sheila Vander blah 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 blah. She's from.
I drank way too much for that shit.
Yeah, she's from. Ex Machina.
Oh, right. I know.
So she's an Oscar winner.
Yeah.
You can see why.
Mm-hmm.
She brings I've seen a lot of people actually say that the Lara Croft as a character, they didn't warm to the film because she was a bit arrogant or come across as arrogant. I didn't get that at all. I thought she was very likable as a character.
Okay.
She portrayed her well. Like I said, I think the most fun, which is damning for the film, is the most fun is before it actually starts raiding in tombs.
Right. Okay.
Because it's a bit of an origin story. Well, it is an origin story. So she goes searching for a lost dad on this island because he was like a banker or something. That's how they made their fortune. And then once his wife died, he started dabbling in like trying to he got obsessed with the occult and stuff to try and bring his dead wife back.
Right. Okay.
Stumbled on myths and legends and stuff rather than hard archaeology. But because he had all this money, he then funded his own kind of passion to bring his dead wife back. So then he fucked off to an island. Never was seen again. So this is kind of all leading into she refuses to sign the death warrant, not death warrant, but the death papers.
Oh, okay.
To bring her
confirm,
confirm her dead after like 8 years or something. I think
very
it
much
is.
to Katie McCann.
Yes. There's
Except
still
she
hope.
didn't kill him.
Exactly, and
she's not written a book about it.
And again, he was alive at the end of the day.
And had 2 working eyes.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like you say. The bit up to the island is she's kind of, it's established straight away that she, it's set up. She is this action person. She does mixed martial arts or something, and gets her ass kicked in the first opening scene of the film.
Okay.
So and there's a few holes that are like a callback that she couldn't get out of at the beginning of the film.
So we pay it off later.
Very generic payoff, but still it's a worked payoff, which
like
I can
the old
appreciate.
Kill Bill 5 poke.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever it's called.
Exactly.
The exploding heart trick.
Yeah, I mean, it's very generic, it's very on the nose, but at least it's there and there is a payoff. Yeah. You're rewarded for paying attention. Because, again, some people may not have noticed that was the hold that she was in originally and she tapped out of that she couldn't get out of.
Yeah.
So, again, I can appreciate a payoff no matter how small or how...
It's like the lights of Xandar, whatever the fuck it is in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Exactly. I mean, it's there. It's... so, a lot of... it's a lot of building up... A lot of little tidbits put in that are brought back later. Like she's a bike messenger in this. Like she refuses to have the family fortune.
A courier sort of thing. Yeah.
So she's doing like Deliveroo food on her bike.
Okay.
But she's part of this delivery company that all then have bets on. I think they call it a fox hunt, which is where they put a paint can on the end of her bike.
Okay.
Put a hole in it. And then attach like a foxtail, like a novelty foxtail to the back of the bike. They give her like a 30-second head start, and then obviously the chasing pack of all the other bike couriers chase her down, and it's whoever gets the foxtail.
Oh, so like a capture the flag
kind of thing, wins the pot kind of thing that they've all put in for. But if she isn't caught by the time the paint can runs out,
she keeps
the money. That was a novel thing. I've never come across. I guess it might be a thing, but if not.
Well, that's
a fun little game. Kudos for So again, that portrays her as a competent kind of. Yeah. She's confident, but again, I don't see her as this arrogant type. It's just she's very confident.
She kind of sounds like Rey, that sort of thing from Star Wars.
Yeah. Obviously, a bit more grounded with it not being sci-fi or anything. But like you say, you see her. Like she goes to, so she refuses to sign the papers or something, and then something leads her to going after her dad, like makes her believe that I could solve this puzzle that he couldn't do or whatever. So she goes to China, she gets mugged straight away near enough, and then she chases the people down, and then they pull out a knife on her, so then it's switched, and then she runs away. So she's not this Angelina Jolie, I'm shooting 2 guns at this fucking killer robot from scene 1 kind of thing.
Straight from the off.
She is portrayed as confident enough to go after them to get her belongings back.
Competent.
Yeah, but not competent enough to then go, oh shit, they've got a knife, and then she just legs it. Again, builds it up slowly. She ends up at this island, the boat crashes, and then it's very loosely based on the reboot game from 2009. I
was going to say,
it's
I've
a
never
few
really
years ago
been a
now.
Tomb Raider guy. Literally, the only thing I remember from Tomb Raider was the original PlayStation game.
Yeah.
The training thing at the start. There was just a swimming pool in the house. That's literally the only thing I remember.
And you locked the butler in the freezer.
Yeah.
They were the two.
That's it. That's my Tomb Raider knowledge. Does that matter? I mean, is it a film? Is it one of these comic?
No, you get enough tidbit.
Okay.
If you've played the game, it's not like they've put.
There's the little Easter eggs for people.
Yeah, but they're not like on the nose Easter eggs again. Though it's not like the artifacts from those first games that are like I think it was a dagger or something that. So you don't see that in a passing thing. Or I never noticed it. I was looking out for shit like that, just in case they put it in there as a little thing. And they didn't, which was nice, but they based it very much on the reboot game, which is a very more grounded way of doing it. So she's a castaway on the sun, she has to learn to survive, basically. It's a survivalist rather than a Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
But then, obviously, to get off the island, she has to figure out the tombs and the puzzles and blah-de-blah-de-blah, and kind of becomes the Tomb Raider because of it. Similar with this film, she's stranded on this island, captured by the bad guys that have been trying to raise this dead Japanese queen or something from the dead. I mean, it's as soon as it gets supposedly going, I kind of drifted off from it because that's when it became very
generic action.
Yeah, like I say, I won't give away the ending because it's still out in cinema. Again, it's a one and done. But there is one scene that I was very impressed with. There's in the game, basically, because she's this young girl, she ends up killing someone for the first time, and you're thinking the way this has all been portrayed, like this is going to be a really you're not going to go on killing sprees. I thought it was going to be a very, at most you're going to end up facing 3 or 4 people during this entirety of this game to survive, because most of it's about sneaking around maybe or something rather than action. Game. And that's where the game kind of drifted off, because all of a sudden she kills someone, and then in the game there's like this cutscene where she's all like, "Oh my god, I kind of killed somebody," and then 5 minutes later you're just firing a bazooka into a watchtower kind of thing, and you end up killing hundreds of people by the end of this game, and it's just like
with no consequence at all.
It's like, come on, that might have been something. At least in this one, let's say the way she kills somebody, her first kill in it, it's really graphic. Like she drowns this person in a puddle. In a chokehold kind of thing, but then face down and pull. So it's not like a quick one and done. She's having to.
It's a brutal thing.
And then she's kind of shocked that she did it, which was good. Then there's less baddies in the film, so there's not as many kills. But that first one was very well done. But then, just as you think that's good, then there's a plot device that kind of hurries it away from that, and you go into and you're just like, I would have preferred them to stay on that.
Yeah, the interesting stuff.
Far longer, but again, it's a PG-13 action blockbuster, Tomb Raider based on a computer game, so you've got to keep it going.
And appealing to the dumb masses.
Yeah, I get that. Because, like I say, most people are probably thinking after 30 minutes, was she not in a tomb? Was she still going around London on a bike? So I appreciate that they gave me that before. And then, like I say, kind of the generic, it's almost like a homage to fucking Last Crusade, Indiana Jones at one point. Like, I sighed out loud because there was the free trials of this.
Oh no.
Yeah, free trials. Not 4, not 2, 3. Yeah. And then it was something like pray to the Queen or something, and you're just like, well, you're gonna have to duck then, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's exactly what happened. You're just like, come on, that's like the breath of God. And then there's a chasm that she has to cross. Like the chasm of souls, and you're just
that's
like,
unbelievable.
Oh, come on. That's the moment I went,
done.
But that was the weakest part of it by far. Again, it's a one and done. It's a good film. It's not a bad film, but it's no means a great film. It could have been so much better again if they decided.
I mean, as I say, as someone
let's not pander.
Who wasn't a Tomb Raider guy, I was very much leaving it down to the trailer to draw me in or not, and I just
the trailer didn't
I could
really
have
do
called
it
it a mile off.
But like you say, I think there'd be more there, obviously, if you're a bit of a Tomb Raider fan.
Yeah.
Or at least played the games or know the miss. Otherwise, it's just going to be generic action for the most part.
You don't care it's a Lara Croft, it's just...
Yeah, but she is...
Woman.
Yeah, she is far more likeable and grounded than Fish Lips Jolie.
Yeah. Which isn't too hard.
Botox Bradgelina. Again, it's a solid, like you say, 6 out of 10. It's not bad. I'd recommend it, like you say, when it comes on TV for free.
Yeah.
It's like a one and done. It's worth the watch.
When it ends up on Netflix,
You can be
in
on
3
your again. You can be on your phone
Yeah,
if you wanted to.
You won't
and
miss
you're not,
anything.
No, not after that first half an hour. But even then, like you say, it's the on the nose things are a bit.
Yeah,
on the
you
nose.
can figure it out.
You have to be really dumb not to kind of notice these callbacks later on. But
Yeah.
there are a lot of dumb people out there, Pete. So
Yes, there are.
all right.
And a lot of those dumb people have been to see Black Panther,
I've not seen Black Panther yet.
the Marvel phenomenon that has taken over the world. There's a massive box office success.
Huge.
Huge. Culturally significant.
Yeah.
For
Mostly a
pretty
black
much
cast
an
and a
all-black cast,
blockbuster.
which, very good thing.
And Martin Freeman.
To be celebrated. Oh, we'll be getting back to that later. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've missed it, but I mean, again, with me and Marvel, I normally wait till they come out on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I don't go to, I missed 4 until recently, for Ragnarok.
Yes.
Until 4 weeks ago or whatever it was. So, I mean, that's my Marvel. I like Marvel, I'm into it, I follow it, but I'm always 6 months behind everyone else.
It's so hard to keep up with.
Yeah.
And I think when this first came out and I came out of the cinema, I put a little thing on Facebook saying, this film sucks.
You did, that's right.
That was probably a little bit harsh. It's
in retrospect.
in retrospect. But I don't get it. I don't get the hype. I don't get the praise. And I sort of think it's that Ghostbusters factor.
Yeah, I was about to say, is it because
people
the
are
elephant
afraid,
in the room?
Yeah. People do not want to criticise this film. Now, it's by no means a bad film. I would say that. It's a Marvel film doing what a Marvel film does. Lots of set pieces, lots of
quirky
one-liners,
back and
jokes,
forth,
and cool visual stuff. But I was very excited. It's one of the few Marvel films that I think in advance I sort of looked at some of the reviews and looked at the hype, and I got drawn in a little bit. And I was excited for this. And people in particular were talking about the world building and how they created this huge, expansive world. Bullshit is what I would say to that. Wakanda is the name of this lost country that they live in, out of the eye of the public world. They put on the front of this third world country, but behind the portal or whatever it is, it's this thriving, futuristic super country, basically.
Interesting.
The problem with that is we sort of see all these sort of hover trains going around, all this stuff happening.
Hover? What?
Yeah, I mean, it's this super futuristic city, and there's like flying cars and trains and lifts going up and down and float. It's like almost like a floating city, almost.
Right. Okay.
But we don't ever see the benefits of this, other than the sister of Black Panther, whose name I can't remember, who sort of is the chief engineer scientist who develops all of their technology using whatever I've forgotten what the fucking thing's called that they.
The MacGuffin.
Yeah,
MacGuffin
whatever
or
the Optium or whatever the hell it's called, this precious material that they have the monopoly over. We see her in a lab developing all this technology. No one else seems to benefit from this, despite the fact this is a futuristic world. It's sort of contrasted by the fact that all of these African people still seem to be living very primitively and farming. We see there's 5 tribes who inhabit this world, all supposedly with very different identities, although we're introduced very little to most of them. One of them lives in the fucking caves in the mountains, well away from society.
Okay.
And they all, live this very traditional African life where they sort of sing and dance and pray and believe in all of this spiritual healing stuff. And it's this massive contrast, by which they've got this futuristic supposed society, but we never really get to see it. And everything is still done in a very traditional, stereotypical way.
Okay.
So I didn't like that. The cast, generally pretty good. I think it's Chadwick Boseman, I believe, is the guy that plays Black Panther. He's fine. Michael B. Jordan plays the sort of the main villain. I think Killmonger. His name
Killmonger.
That's his nickname. He's got a sort of African name as well, but he's nicknamed the Killmonger.
Thank God for that. Right, that's fine. Yeah.
He's very good. It features Daniel Kaluuya, who's sort of perhaps best known for Get Out, nominated for the
Still
best
haven't
actor.
Seen that.
He is badly underused. He is a background character in this who does
really
fuck all.
Yeah.
And then you've got Martin Freeman.
And then there's Frodo.
He's so out of place, and just he seems strange in this film. Seems really, really weird, and not a particularly interesting character. He's sort of a shady agency guy.
Right.
I think he's been hinted at in a previous film. I can't think which of the many.
Civil War.
Was it Civil War?
He was in Civil War.
Not particularly interesting, and doesn't do a great deal in this. So yeah, the world building was disappointing.
Is this the one thing I would have? Is that do they give a reason why they're so secluded and have this secret future city?
They kind of do, yeah.
Is it viable? Considering aliens just attacked the Earth in this universe,
sense,
and you would have thought they would have come out and said, "Well, might as well fucking."
It's basically self-preservation.
Yeah,
you know, they want to protect themselves from the world. You know, they don't want their technology and their resources falling into the wrong hands.
Okay.
So it's self-preservation. And to be fair, you know, the highlight of the film is when, because this guy Killmonger, whatever his name is,
I can't laugh at that.
he is the son of a Wakandan prince who was sort of sent out to Earth as a spy.
Okay.
Who I think basically betrays the cause, and he's killed on Earth by whoever the prince is at the time. He comes to Earth, kills him. But this little kid, who turns out to be Killmonger, is left on Earth. He's abandoned on Earth. So he grows up...
So they're aliens?
I say Earth, because it's not aliens, it's meant to be Earth, but it's sort of... Because it's so futuristic, it feels like another planet, but it's basically a hidden country.
Okay.
But it feels like another world within this thing. So I'm
the real
world. Yeah, I'm probably going to keep saying other worlds.
Okay, now I know. That's fine. That's fine. That's how I know anyway, yeah.
But
I'm with you now.
So basically, he's abandoned on Earth as this kid. He understandably becomes very bitter. Joins the war cause, which is where he gets the nickname Killmonger, because he just ruthlessly murders all of these people, and he marks his body for every person he kills. So he's covered in scars and whatnot.
Like old Victor Zeus or whatever it is from Batman.
Yeah, pretty much exactly that.
Okay.
But eventually,
the African American version of that guy.
Eventually, he returns to Wakanda to place his claim to the throne.
Okay.
And he defeats Black Panther, who's the prince, and takes his place. And he sort of says, well, no, we should open ourselves up into the world, because there are people, you know, our ancestors and our brothers and sisters in the real world who are suffering, and we could do something for these people. You know, how can you look at all of these African Americans suffering in poverty and being persecuted by white people?
So a decent villain,
nothing.
Then, like you say,
a decent villain. The closest thing to you know, similar to Michael Keaton in Spider-Man, where he's got an actual real world motivation. The problem is...
Same with the Inferno guy as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to take out half the world because we're essentially a cancer on the planet, killing everything, not just ourselves.
So you understand his motivation, and you almost empathise with this guy.
Until...
But the problem is they don't do enough with that. It's too often just swept aside for another stupid action scene.
Yeah.
As so often is the case. The story itself is pretty generic. You know, it's nothing new. The fight scenes are very generic. I think there's a scene where Daniel Kaluuya is riding around on the back of a CGI rhino. I mean, that should tell you all you need to know. And the characters didn't seem to be much free will here. There's one character who's a female character, and she's sort of one of the guards of the throne of Wakanda, who's always loyal to the throne. So she's loyal to she's previously been loyal to Black Panther's dad. Obviously, we see him die in Civil War.
Yeah.
So she becomes loyal to Black Panther.
But then Black Panther gets beaten. But...
Black Panther is beaten. She instantly becomes loyal to the new guy.
Yeah.
Black Panther returns, says, "You didn't beat me." She instantly returns to him. She's just shown as this brainless with no free will.
You can't really kind of get behind that character because it's so...
She's just nothing. Whereas Daniel Kaluuya, who's meant to be a friend of Black Panther, turns on him completely and sides with Killmonger. And then we don't really see what happens to him in the end.
Left ambiguous.
Yeah, left ambiguous. Because he is, in a throwaway line, the boyfriend of this other character, this female character who's going back and forth. And that's just mentioned in a throwaway line. And that's the problem. There's no depth to some of these background characters. We don't find out anything about them. We don't care.
Yeah.
Similar to the...
Is it one of those that if they're probably in the comics and people will know they're together in the comics, so it's a bit more of a payoff maybe
the
for
Amazonians in Wonder Woman. You know, they could be built up. But now if these people pop up again in, you know...
Well, this is where Marvel will do it well, and where Marvel does do it well. They will pop up again.
We hope.
And you'll get to learn more about them, and they'll build them up kind of thing. That is the one thing, and that's why Marvel is just pissed all over DC's attempts.
Yeah.
Because their world building is fucking exceptional for the most part.
So yeah, I mean, I would say similar thing about what you said about Tomb Raider, one and done. I do not get the hype. One of the all-time great superhero films. It isn't. And maybe, I am in that superhero burnout phase. I'm in that superhero burn, and this isn't the film that's pushed me to that. It's happened already. I think fucking
let's say
Age of Ultron is the one that really started to tip the balance of
I think that was the one.
And Batman v Superman being the other, which we shall never speak of again.
No. Fuck you, Zack Snyder.
But yeah, just very disappointing, this film. I don't think I'm going to be talking about it as a worst film of the year by any means, but
just a bit of a letdown.
Big letdown.
Okay.
And I can't particularly recommend it.
Fair enough. All right, moving forward then quickly, before we run out of time. What are you looking forward to then in the coming months? What have we got?
I mean, without wanting to be hypocritical, I am looking forward to the Infinity War. I mean, the trailer is very good, but
it's 10 years worth that have built towards this, though. That's the thing. We always knew this was the end game for this set of characters. If not, I don't think they expected it to take off past it. But since it has done, they're going to continue it afterwards with a Phase 4 Marvel. But I think the plan was always 3 phases. With Infinity
is
War.
this the end for the Iron Man and the Captain America?
That's what a lot of people probably think.
I mean, the problem is we've got
moving on to a new set of characters going forward,
and
your Black Panthers.
And speaking of that, though, there are so many characters now.
Yeah,
how the hell are they going to fit all of this shit in? Like,
will I need to watch Black Panther before watching?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm at that stage now because, I finally got around to 4. Ragnarok. I really wish I'd watched that a lot sooner, but I don't know if I'm going to get anything from 4 Ragnarok that's actually going to make a difference in Infinity War now, apart from he's got an eye patch.
Yeah, and he's lost his hammer.
But you can explain that away.
Hulk is back now.
Yeah, Hulk's back. That's where Hulk was.
Yeah,
but you knew that in the trailer.
Yeah.
So I mean, and you saw the hammer get destroyed by the bat in the trailer. Yeah. So it's a case of, all right, well, I'm guessing he lost his eye with a fight. So,
but we're going to have to squeeze in the Guardians of the Galaxy and integrate them into the world.
That's what I'm excited for.
I think they'll be good, but are they going to be given enough of a showcase?
Yeah.
Or is it just going to be lost in the shuffle?
Yeah.
Of all of this other shit going on, of Spider-Man, of Black Panther.
And it's a 2-parter as well, isn't it? Because it's Infinity War Part 1 now. And then they're bringing in more characters because there's the Captain Marvel film coming this time next year. Oh. So a lot of people are thinking old Steve Rogers or Iron Man or both are going to croak it. And that's when they're going to bring in Captain Marvel, who is their female equivalent in the Marvel universe. She's the other leader of the Avengers.
Yes.
And they can bring her in as a direct replacement, basically, for
whoever this might be.
It's like Captain Marvel Studio. It's the staple character almost. It's like having somebody called Lieutenant DC, just turning up. We're on about the shuffling of characters. Is it going to thin the herd enough?
I hope so. I think they're going to have
just to bring in a few extra new ones going forward. Because again, Spider-Man's only just turned up, so he's going to.
Do you kill off a Black Widow or someone like that, or a Hawkeye?
I think a lot of people, like I say, with how they want more women and female characters, unless it's a meaningful death somehow, I can safely say no females will die in this film. I don't think.
Yeah, because I haven't even thought about fucking. What's her name of the mind powers?
Scarlet Witch or whatever.
Scarlet Witch and the red guy.
I think the red guy's going to stuff it because he's got one of the stones in his head, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's going to bite the dust.
I don't know if Vision.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's going to be popped out and he still survives without it, or
yeah, because I think they show that in the trailer, him being attacked.
Oh, they might have
done, Thanos. Yeah.
So, like you say, I mean, it could be a case of, like you say, this might act as a vehicle, it's almost like instead of they've built it now, instead of having it as
Passing
the end. Yeah, I say instead of this end centerpiece that it's all built up for, it is now the end of what we know. It's the 2 transition films going forward.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It might be.
Still looking forward to that, and as we mentioned, that'll probably be one of the next films that we showcase on its own episode. And we'll be doing the same, I imagine, for a film I'm not looking forward to particularly. Solo. Star Wars story.
I forgot about that. Like, I have no interest in that.
No
interest at all.
Couldn't be less interested.
It's a film that didn't need. It's a story that didn't need telling. Again, it's a prequel. They've not learned their fucking lessons. We want to know what happens after shit.
Yeah.
Not what happened during it, because we know there's no stakes in it.
No stakes, and I don't want to see the whole of Han Solo's life crammed into 2 hours.
Yeah. But it's going to be.
Because that's what they're going to do.
It's going to be the film how he gets the Millennium Falcon.
How he gets the Falcon, we'll see the Kessel Run, we'll see how does he get the blaster, how does he meet Chewie.
And how does he meet Lando? But then how does that female character get killed off?
Yeah.
Because he has to be with Princess Leia, so she's going to die.
Or double cross
him and die.
That's how he becomes reluctant to join causes, because causes just get you killed.
Exactly. So yeah, fuck that. I'm not really looking forward to that at all. I
mean, how stupid do you think it'll be? Do you think we will leave do you think they'll Rogue One it? Because Rogue One we leave, pretty much directly seeing Leia getting the plans for the Death Star just before Darth Vader bursts in. We leave it right there before we start New Hope. Do you think it'll be that stupid in Solo? Do you think we'll get him arriving in the cantina and all of a sudden you'll just hear in the background Luke and Obi-Wan? Do you think it'll be that blatant?
I can't know. Because, again, if they did that, then they would just draw comparisons to Rogue One, which I'm sure they would want to avoid.
I doubt it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. It's probably.
That's the most stupid.
It's either that or Cloud City. That's going to be it.
We will go to Cloud City. I don't think you end at Cloud City necessarily.
I think they'll drop off Lando at Cloud City.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe not as the mayor or the proprietor or whatever he was of it, but he's going to be left there at the end of the film, and they fly off into the clouds.
We're going to get Jabba the Hutt in there somehow.
Oh, Boba Fett.
Yeah. All of these things that we're going to have to cram in.
You remember this? You remember that? Here it is.
I mean, what else?
Stupid people clap at the thing that you know.
Applaud.
Oh, no.
So what else? They finally dropped the first trailer for the Wreck-It Ralph sequel. That's out now.
I've seen that. I think I've seen that. I look forward to Wreck-It Ralph just because
really
the first one was fun.
And it's a good trailer, this, it's...
I like the premise as well.
A couple of times,
they generally have taken it in it's a similar direction, but just, like you say, bringing the possibility of the internet into it. It's a natural progression. It's not like they're rehashing the same thing, because they I hope they don't, because they've got the blanket of the World Wide Web for this.
Yeah, so I've got high hopes for that. There's some. I mean, what else is coming this year? We've got
Incredibles 2.
Incredibles 2.
I never asked for it, but I'll
we'll give it a chance.
I'll watch it. Yeah, first one was good.
There's a new Mary Poppins.
Yes!
Coming out.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that the other day from nowhere.
It's like a Teela trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck to expect from that.
I don't know. I generally don't know.
And the other Jungle Book film, the sort of I think it's just called Mowgli.
There's another Jungle Book film?
Yeah, not a sequel to the last one. This is a whole new series by a different studio doing their own take on
Jungle Book. Fuck off.
With, I think, Benedict Cumberbatch is in there somewhere. I can't think who else.
Oh no! And is it like live action?
Yeah, I think the same sort of thing.
Oh no! I don't know when it's out, but there's a Lion King coming from the people that.
Oh yeah, it's got Beyonce in it, hasn't it? And is Will Smith in that?
It wouldn't surprise me if Will Smith was in it.
Oh no, Will Smith is going to be the genie in the live action Aladdin.
Yeah, if you get, I mean, Will Smith 20 years ago, yes. Of Wild Wild West Will Smith.
Yeah, I don't know now.
I'm not sure about
Bright Will Smith.
Do you want to say woke Will Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else is in this live action Lion King, because there's some big names in this, and I can't.
It won't surprise me. Like, everybody's going to be in on this.
Yeah, I know certainly Beyonce is in there. I think as Nala.
Of course, Queen Bey is.
Queen Bee. But yeah, there's some big names, and I can't for the life of me remember. But I don't think that's this year anyway. I think that's possibly next year.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Tim Burton Dumbo looming on the horizon as well.
Fuck off! Why is Tim Burton still making movies?
Because Johnny Depp hasn't yet been caught up in a Kevin Spacey sex scandal, but he will be the next one.
It's only a matter of time. That or a drugs overdose, one of the two.
Yeah, I see him as a bit of a Heath Ledger one day.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Anything else off the top of it? I mean, I'm
sure there's loads of things,
I
but
just
nothing.
haven't. Like, the Annihilation was one that I was looking forward to.
There's bound to be another Transformers this year, because there always is.
There is another Transformers. It's the Bumblebee spin-off, isn't it?
Oh yeah, with fucking John Cena in it. yeah, that's happening.
Moving on, because I still haven't seen it. That will be a future podcast. We'll have to watch the last night. Is it?
Is that the most recent one?
First night.
The last night.
Oh, it's something night.
Yeah, I think it's the
It's
last
either the
night.
first or the last night.
I think it is the last night.
So yeah, we get to watch
I've not seen that.
No,
Yeah.
never have I. It's on Sky now.
Oh, fuck my life.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments.
We can't do the whole series because I think it would generally take 24 hours to watch them all.
And I'd probably commit murder. One of us wouldn't make it out. It would be a case of somebody would break up a pool cue and just leave it in the middle of the room at the beginning of it, and it's just a case of who's left at the end.
I mean, I think
I'd imagine both of us would be
I'd
dead.
let you kill me. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll the kamikaze
Turn it into my
Japanese.
stomach.
Yeah, just put stab it into my stomach, fall on my own sword.
So yeah, I mean, anything else that anyone's particularly looking forward to that
Let
you
us
think might
know.
make a good discussion, by all means, let us know. As we've mentioned before, anything for our retrospective episodes, anything you wanted to torture ourselves
I'll
with.
say good, bad, torturers. We're fair game at this point.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot to mention this in the last one, but this is a way forward. Suggest this to your friends for a like on Facebook and then a subscription on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I'm not used to
no, neither am I.
whoring ourselves. Yeah.
No, because we did this just to piss like a handful of people off and just allow ourselves that platform because we think we're important people. But now, if we're officially going down that trail, give us a like.
Yeah, if you
subscribe.
If you like what you've heard, click like.
Give us a
Click
share. Yeah.
Do that social media thing before Zuckerberg is incarcerated.
Indeed, and you never know. At some point, possibly this could turn into a video thing. There's talk about buying a new sofa.
Well,
Which
you
we're
say
in-
a new sofa, but this
we're-
isn't a sofa right now.
Which two guys, one sofa. We're on a sofa. If anybody asks, we're on a sofa. We've been through this.
You're on my lap.
Naked.
2 guys, 1 fireplace, 1 boudoir,
And that hot poker.
hidden fingers all
Oh
over.
dear. So yes, give us a just whore us out for us because we're not very good at this. We don't really give a shit. We're not one of these people that are trying to make internet dollar money, but we just like the idea that our ramblings are influencing people to give us our own that smug satisfaction.
Yeah,
It's me anyway.
it's a vanity project.
Yeah, it's a vanity project. So yes, feel free to give us a like, and you never know, it might turn into a video vlog thing before too long. It might not. It might turn into all three. It might be editorial pieces. It could be
Yeah,
videos, and it could be podcasts. It might even be guests. It could be 3 guys on one cramped sofa. It may just be one of us rambling on a podcast for some reason, or one of us with someone else. Who knows?
yeah. I mean, if anyone thinks they've got what it takes to join us for a podcast, a freeway retrospective of something that you hate, then
3 ways, one sofa.
three guys, 1.
3 holes, one sofa, and by that we're talking about mouths, because it's a podcast. It's a verbal thing. So holes, mouths.
Yeah.
Don't know what you went to, but
Oh, I was thinking human centipede.
yeah, I was thinking butt as well.
Yeah.
So yes, ignore that last 5 minutes, but still, give us a like, give us a share.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Subscribe on the old YouTube, even though everything's probably going to go through the Facebook, I'd imagine. And thank you for sticking around. If you have, well done. You got through the podcast, the Ghostbusters one as well. Kudos on that. So yeah, next up, Pixels. Woo! No.
Oh God.
Fuck knows what's next, but probably Pete will write something, probably, hopefully.
Yeah.
So until then, take us out, Pete. Think of a snappy one-liner from Black Panther. Go.
There was nothing interesting in Black Panther.
We got to sign off well. We never start these things well. We got to give it a good sign-off line.
Bye.